In this presentation, we look at rounding. So we're going to look at rounding to the nearest whole numbers, rounding to decimal places, and rounding to significant figures. So it's understanding each of those. So we take you through the first example, round 7.28 to the nearest whole number. Rounding to the nearest whole number is the same as rounding to the nearest one in this case. So 7.28 is between 7 and 8, so we need to work out what's closer to 7 or 8. We can draw a line after the ones and look at the next digit, the tenths. If the digit's 5 or above, we round up. 4 below, we round down on this. Do have a look at place value if you haven't seen this, because you'll understand why that is the case. So the answer here is 7. In the next example, we round 12.84 to the nearest whole number. 12.84 we know is in between 12 and 13. We need to work out if it is closer to 12 or if it's closer to 13. Again, here we draw a line between. So we can draw a line after the ones and look at the digit, the tenths. If the digit is 5 or above, we will round up to 13. If it is 4 below, we will not. It will stay as 12. We have a 7 in the tenths, so we have an 8, in the tenths, so we will have to round up. Our answer is 13 for the nearest whole number. It's always the nearest one. But now we've got the nearest tens. Nearest 10. So our nearest 10 is a multiple of the nearest multiple of 10. So again, look at our factors, multiples, and primes if you don't understand what we mean by that. So a multiple of 10 between here is 380 and 390. So we need to work out if it's closer to 380 or 390. So we draw a line after the tens between the ones. We know this is a 6, which means we need to round up. So this means our answer is 390. Rounding to the nearest whole number, we round 549.7 to the nearest hundreds. So here we need to draw a line after the hundreds. And we know that this is closest to 500, between 500 and 600. If you're not quite understanding that, please do take the time to have a word with us in our community and make sure you do understand that fully. And do also get involved in group sessions as well. So we put our line in here. Because it's a 4, we round down. This means it's 500. However close it is, so it really depends on the questions. Now let's have a look at some examples ourselves. So do try these, do pause and have a go. So the nearest whole number is 27.8 to 27.88. We know we need to put our line in here. We've got an 8 after the line, so this means we round up. We put a line here, because it's a 1, this means we round down. To the nearest 10, we know that this number here is in between 670 and 680. We put our line after the tenths, we see a 7 here, so we're closest to 680. Again, we know that this is 5,230, and we've also got 5,240. So we know to the nearest 10, we put the line after, we've got a 0, so this would round to 5,230. To the nearest 100, again, we need to put the line after our 100. So this would mean our numbers between 3,600 and 3,700. Here we've got 9,851,500, and we've also got 98,800, 600 there. So what we do is we know that that's a 1, so we round down for this one, and we round up to 3,700 for this one. If you do have any questions on this, please do not hesitate to ask us. So in this next part of the video here, we're looking at decimal points. How do we round to decimal points? So we've got a here, when we round to 1 decimal place, we want just 1 digit after the decimal point. So 2.68 is in between 2.6 and 2.7. So what we need to do is put a line in after 6. If the digit is 5 or above, we round up. If it's 4 or below, we round down. So here, this is 8, so we round up here. Any trouble with that, please don't hesitate to reach out. So with the decimal place, we know it's 2.68, and we draw our line here, and we round that up. So always draw the line to how many decimal places. So decimal places, I'm going to do more videos and more content on decimal places. If we have 1 decimal place, we've got numbers like 1.3, 1.2. If we have 2 decimal places, 1.3 to 1.35. These are the amount of places after the decimal point. So that's what we mean by a decimal place here. So it's really important to understand rounding and what we mean by decimal places and the other types of rounding. So here we've got 2 decimal places to 2 decimal places. So what we do here is we round the 2 decimal places. We want 2 digits after the decimal point. So we know it's between 15.37 and 15.38. We need to work out which one's closer, 15.37, or is it closer to 15.38? Then we draw a line after the 2 decimal points. So here, notice it's 2 decimal places, so we've got our first place and our second place here. Really important to understand that. If you don't quite get that, do reach out to us. We're here to help you. If the digit is 5 or above, we will round up to 15.38. If it's 4 or below, we will not. It will stay as 15.37 as it's 4. We have 4 in the thousands. So this is our answer here. Again, any questions, do reach out. And if it was 1 decimal place, we would put, if we look up here at this example, we put our line here, and this would become 15.4 because the 7 would round us up here. So in this part of the video now, we're looking at significant figures. Significant figures are different to decimal points, and we're looking at how we look at these figures. So when we count significant figures, we start counting from the first non-zero digit. The first non-zero digit is 2, the first significant figure. The second significant figure is 6, because it's 0.269 is between 0.26 and 0.7. So we need to work out if it's closer. So this is our first, and this is our second. Our 0 doesn't count because we have 0 ones, so it doesn't make it a significant figure. And I'm going to explain a bit more about that in more detail. I'm also going to do group sessions, and we can discuss this in our community chats as well, making sure we fully understand what we mean by significant figures. Really important in all levels of maths. If the digit is 5 or above, we will round up. If it's above 4 below, we'll round down. So here we know we have a 9 in the thousandths here, so we have to round up. And let's see another example of significant figures. So here we've got 17.045. So this is figure 1, is the 1. Figure 2 is the 7. Figure 3 is the 0, and this does count. When 0 is in between, it counts as a significant figure. So, and then we have to put a split here because we have 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3. So, we round down because it is figure, because we round this down because this is a 4. The reason, and that's the reason we round down, so we keep it at 17.0. If this was a 5, we'd round up to 17.1. So an example of a number having 1 significant figure is 1,000, because we've only got 1 figure here. The rest of the figures don't count here. So this is 1 figure. And we're going to do more of this as well. We're going to look at more of this in group sessions. We've also, but here, if we've got 1,010, we've got 3 figures because we've got 1, 2, 3. These are significant because this is 0 is sandwiched in here. So the 0 becomes significant because it's sandwiched in. So we have 3 significant figures. But if the 0's after, for example, if we've got 2,000, this means we've got 1 figure here, and the rest are not significant because they don't hold. Only if it's in between. Do ask about that if you need more help. So here, let's try these ourselves. Do pause, have a go, all of the questions. We are going to do them now, so we round to 1 decimal place. All we have to do here is split here. 8 is higher than 5, so we round up to 3.4, because it's between 3.3 and 3.4. Here, again, we split the number because it's 1 decimal place. We split between the tenths and hundredths. Again, do look at place value if you do not understand these decimals and the places. do watch our video, and do also contact us through the community and book in a group session. So we've got 5.2, 6, 7. The 6 is higher than so it's 5 and above, which means we round up to 5.3. So round to 1 decimal place. So here we've got 9.3476. So to 1 decimal place, we would round that down because we've got the 4. So we've got 9.3. In this, we would round it up because we've got a 9. This would go as 5.0. But even if it's 5.0, don't just write 5, write the 5.0 to show the examiner you understand the decimal place. We can have the 0 there in this instance because this would round up, which would mean we add another tenth, which means we've got 10 tenths, which goes into the 5, and that makes it 5.0. So here we need to round to 2 significant figures. So we put our line where there's the 2 most significant figures, and we make this 9 point. So do we round up or down? We round down because we've got a 4. 4 and below, we round down, which makes us 9.3. Figure 1 and figure 2. In the next part, we look at rounding to 2 significant figures. Again, here we've got, do we round down or do we round up? We round down because we've got a 4 here, which means we've got 8.4. Do have a look at the quiz. Have a go at that. Make sure you understand that. Make sure you can get those questions right. Reach out to our community and don't hesitate to book a group session. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and please do have a great day. Thank you.